Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide channel. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. And today I'm going to answer a question which was posed to me by a viewer called Manuel, who asked me if I could choose only 3 sports jackets, what would they be? And I've got 3 of my favourites here with me today. I'm going to explain my reason for selecting them. But first of all, let's understand what a sports jacket is, because people use these terms of reference as a throwaway comment when describing a certain type of garment. I think it's worth us all fully understanding what a sports jacket is. Now, a sports jacket, by definition, is generally speaking a lounge jacket which doesn't have a matching pair of trousers. Okay, so it's a jacket of some kind. It can be made of many different materials, many different patterns, but it doesn't have a matching pair of trousers. Now, it differs from the blazer by the fact that the blazer is traditionally in a solid colour, not always, but normally in a solid colour, and it normally has metal or contrasting buttons. The blazer, its heritage goes back to naval uniforms back in sort of British history, and then it became something which was worn for sporting clubs to identify each other, boating teams and things like that. So the blazer is separate to a sports jacket. Now, the term sports jacket goes back to the Victorian term, because the garments generally which we talk about as sports jackets, in their inception, would have been worn for participating in sporting events, particularly shooting, for instance. So a shooting jacket would have been a garment. Quite often it would have had a leather pad on the shoulder to receive the butt of the rifle to stop excessive wear, and it would have been a little more cut to allow a gentleman to throw his arms up in the shooting stance. Other types of sports jackets would have been hacking jackets. So the sort of jackets you'd wear when riding or hacking, they would be quite short often and more comfortable for wear when riding a horse. Again, allowing plenty of movement as one might expect when riding. So often worn by people who liked the equestrian things. There would also be other little factors. So with a shooting jacket, you'd normally have large pockets with a flap, which would allow you to keep shotgun cartridges or other ammunition in the pockets. Or they would have quite low cut V-fronts to allow access into the inside pockets as well. So they were basically designed to participate in sport. As time went on, people who watched the sports and were associated with the sports, but not actually participants, they started to dress in the fashion which were worn by the sporting individuals themselves, and hence the term sports jacket was formed. It covers quite a broad variety of gentlemen's jackets today, but I've picked my 3 choices that I think every gentleman needs in his wardrobe. Okay, starting at my number 1 choice, which I think every intentionally well-dressed man should have in his wardrobe, is a tweed jacket. Now, tweed is a fantastic sports jacket, and I think it's where it all really began. It's the ultimate outdoor garment, and when we talk about shooting jackets and hacking jackets, tweed is where it would have begun in its inception, because this was the type of material worn back in outdoor pursuits, and it has made its way into modern life. And tweed is perfect for every man's wardrobe, because it comes in a variety of different colours, different patterns, different materials, making it very versatile. It's a chameleon garment, and there is a version of it which is perfect for you. All you've got to do is go and look for it and find it. And one of the other things I love about tweed is its robustness. All right, it's made of wool. Tweed is essentially wool, and it is tough and hardy. You can wear it in the winter months and it'll keep you wonderfully warm. It's tightly woven, so it protects you against thorns and bushes when you're out in the countryside. When you're in the city, it's equally at home, because it can be worn across a wide variety of your clothing. Unusually for a formal jacket, tweed can be worn with denim So if you're wearing jeans, if you're a habitual jeans wearer, and it just doesn't look right with a blazer in your mind, try a tweed jacket. It allows you to step up your style, but still remain a little classy. Now, tweed has always had this innate ability to stride between the formality barriers when it comes to dress codes. Because as I say, it can be worn with, your jeans. It can also be worn with maybe chinos, as I'm wearing today, with an open neck shirt, maybe with a polo shirt, should you wish to dress like that. But if you want to step up to slightly more formal, of course, a shirt, a collar and a tie with more formal trousers, maybe grey flannel slacks or navy flannel slacks, it allows you to be business, semi-formal, for sure, in the modern era. Now, one of the beauties of tweed, as I say, it brings colour, pattern, and another dimension to your clothing all round. So for me, I've always got at least one tweed jacket in my wardrobe. In fact, for the coming year, I'm aiming to add a new one into my collection, because the one I'm wearing now is my perennial jacket. I wear it most of the time in the winter months. It's been with me for years, and I have to say it's hardly showing any sign of wear, which is another one of the robust qualities of tweed. It's long lasting and timeless when it comes to style. A simple single-breasted 2-button tweed jacket is going to be as smart in 50 years time as it is the day that you buy it. So always worth thinking about that tweed jacket as the number one choice for your sports jacket collection. Now, my number 2 choice for the sports jacket, which I must have in my collection, is the patterned sports jacket. Now, the patterned could be anything. It could be plaid, it could be checks, it could be window pane, it could be a variety of different colours. But what it is a definite pattern. It's something which you probably wouldn't want to wear in a suit, because if you had a matching pair of trousers with such a bold pattern, it would be overbearing. It would be just too much to wear in most social or semi-formal situations. But in a jacket, when you pair it with a plain pair of trousers, maybe grey flannel or black or navy, the jacket is going to be the star of the show. Now, this particular one I'm wearing is made of 100% wool. It's made of old British manufacturer called Crombie, now sadly gone out of business. But this jacket, as you can see, the patternation on it is striking. If I were to wear a pair of trousers made of the same material, as I've said, it would be just too much. It would be excessively flamboyant and it just wouldn't work. But just the jacket allows me to introduce those colours, those patterns, and actually with wool, quite a lot of texture as well. It has many of the benefits of the tweed jacket. It's not as robust or tightly woven, but it has warmth, being wool, and it has style aplenty. So again, worn single-breasted, 2 buttons, timeless in its design, means that this jacket is going to last for the decades, as long as I continue to fit into it. So always for me, a sports jacket allows you to go a little bit more left of centre with the pattern. So a patterned sports jacket for me, number 2 in my list. Now, my 3rd choice for the sports jacket, which just has to be in the collection for every intentionally well-dressed man, is a linen sports jacket. Because here in the UK, it is increasingly a temperate climate. We have long, warmish summers, shorter winters these days, so we spend a lot of time bathed in the sunlight. And even at the beginning of autumn, as I'm filming this today, it is a warm 23 plus Celsius degree day. It's too warm to wear tweed, it's too warm to wear wool. I need an alternative. And for me, linen is that marvellous middle ground, which allows me just enough formality to be able to go out to special events looking very smart, but at the same time keep cool as well. And it's something which, again, choose the right pattern, the right colour. It's something which can be worn in a variety of situations. This jacket has been my go-to jacket for a number of years. It's linen, it's unlined, which means it's quite cooling even though it allows me to look smart enough to wear to situations where formality is required. This year alone, I have worn this jacket into Rules, which is a smart London restaurant which requires gentlemen to wear jackets. I've also worn it to centre court in Wimbledon during the Wimbledon tournament earlier in the year, where everybody dresses up a little bit more smartly. The linen jacket is that perfect gentleman's uniform for the warm summer days when you want to look your best, but you don't want to be sweating and uncomfortable and feeling hot and bothered all day. Linen just allows you that wonderful middle ground. Now, the way it works is just by allowing the air to get through it, the perspiration to, dissipate and evaporate from your skin without a heavy, thicker layer of wool trapping that heat in. Of course, as soon as the weather turns cool, this goes away in the wardrobe and stays there until next spring. But for me, certainly in the UK climate, a linen jacket or two in the collection is definitely a requirement. So there we go, chaps. Those were my top 3 sports jackets which really have to be in the collection. And to be honest, looking forward at the way men's style is heading, of course, it's clear to all of us, the suit and the more formal way of dressing is falling into abeyance. It's no longer something which we see every day. And the sports jacket, I think, will be the next level of people dressing as they consider to be smart. As we step away from very formality, sports jackets will be the next level of being well dressed. And why not? Because it allows us to move between formality levels. It can be casual when worn with casual trousers and maybe a casual shirt underneath. It can be semi-formal when worn with a structured shirt but with no tie and something like a pair of chinos. And it can also stray towards the more formal end. If we wear, say for instance, a tweed jacket or a patterned jacket with a pair of flannel slacks and a shirt with a tie. In this modern world, that's as smart as any man is likely to dress. So it's well worth having a few of those sports jackets in the collection for those occasions when you're looking at the dress code thinking, what should I wear? Go for the sports jacket, and you've got both ends of the spectrum covered. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Click the red button if you'd like to see more. You can of course support me by buying me a coffee. The link to that is in the show notes below. Until the next time, dress your best, maybe with a sports jacket. And I will see you again very soon.